Insider Gaming has verified that the PS5 Pro specs leaked earlier today are indeed authentic, setting sights on a holiday 2024 release for the eagerly anticipated PlayStation 5 upgrade. Through discussions with sources who opted to remain unnamed due to restrictions on disclosing company plans, it's been confirmed that the documentation leaked by the YouTube channel Moore's Law is Dead is legitimate. This comes in spite of the skepticism surrounding the leaker and the specs unveiled. Insider Gaming has ascertained that the leaked documents originated from a PlayStation developer portal and were disseminated this week to an extended range of third-party developers. Back in early 2023, I shared via Key to Gaming under the codename Trinity that the PS5 Pro aims for enhanced and stable FPS at 4K resolution, introduces a novel performance mode for 8K resolution, and boasts expedited ray tracing. The report also highlighted that Trinity would feature 30 WGP and boast 18,000 MTS memory. The freshly leaked documents further corroborate these details, showcasing a 45% faster rendering capability than its predecessor, the PS5, an improvement in ray tracing capabilities by 2 to 3x up to 4x in certain scenarios, a formidable 33.5 teraflops of processing power, the introduction of PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution Upscaling, an upscaling anti-aliasing solution. Future SDK versions will support resolutions up to 8K, a custom machine learning framework, an AI accelerator capable of handling 300 TOPS of 8-bit computation, 67 teraflops of 16-bit floating point. Insider Gaming has also been informed that dev kits have been in the hands of first-party studios since September 2023 and extended to third-party developers by January 2024. Test kits mirroring the final product's capabilities are slated for release in spring 2024. While the PS5 Pro targets a tentative holiday 2024 launch, this timeline remains flexible, especially considering the current scarcity of first-party game releases for the PlayStation 5. As I said before, this is pretty exciting news, but what do you think? The premier review score for Rise of the Ronin has made its way online, with the Japanese publication Famitsu bestowing a notable 37 out of 40 on the eagerly awaited PS5 title. The breakdown from the 4 reviewers includes 3 9 out of 10 scores and 1 perfect 10 out of 10. The Western PS5 reviews is set to go live on Thursday, coinciding with the lifting of the review embargo. Famitsu's rating aligns with its historical scores for other games by Team Ninja, having awarded both Nioh and Nioh 2, as well as Wo Long, Fallen Dynasty, a score of 36/40ths. In the previews of Rise of the Ronin for the PS5, I acknowledged that the game's initial hours hinted at potential, yet left me somewhat underwhelmed. Rise of the Ronin presents itself as a larger, more ambitious, and more complex endeavor compared to Team Ninja's previous works. But does it truly elevate the experience? We pondered. So far, it's hard to make a definitive judgment. The game has been consistently decent to good in the early stages, but we're still waiting for that standout moment or thrilling sequence that truly demonstrates why Sony has thrown its support behind the title. The acclaim garnered by Ghost of Tsushima has significantly influenced Team Ninja in their development of the much-anticipated Rise of the Ronin. Since its announcement, there's been a flurry of comparisons drawn between the two games, given their shared historical Japanese backdrop, third-person sword combat, and expansive open-world gameplay. Fumihiko Yasuda, the director of Rise of the Ronin, recognized these parallels, citing Sucker Punch's narrative of vengeance as a pivotal inspiration. In our development process, Ghost of Tsushima served as a key reference, Yasuda mentioned in a conversation with Automaton. He expressed admiration for the game's meticulous research into Japanese culture by its developers and the widespread acclaim it received, especially for its combat system. Notably, Ghost of Tsushima was a portrayal of Japan crafted by a Western team, which led Yasuda to reflect on the potential within his team to create a game that could resonate similarly. Seeing the success of Ghost of Tsushima bolstered our confidence in developing Rise of the Ronin. However, producer Yosuke Hayashi emphasized that while they acknowledged Ghost of Tsushima, their goal with Rise of the Ronin extends beyond merely emulating its success. Hayashi stated, "We've always been mindful of creating something that encapsulates the essence of Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja, rather than mirroring Ghost of Tsushima. We believe players will appreciate the distinct touch, combat dynamics, and the depth of Japanese-ness our game offers, setting it apart from others." In distinguishing Rise of the Ronin from Ghost of Tsushima, Team Ninja is exploring more RPG elements, moving away from the extensive loot system seen in their previous Nioh series. Early impressions from our preview indicate that the game's combat rhythm might even evoke nostalgia for a classic PS1 title from 27 years ago, suggesting that its inspirations extend well beyond the recent past. last month presented the gaming world with two starkly contrasting releases. On one side, we had a blockbuster game developed by a renowned giant in the industry, packed with a star-studded roster of superheroes and backed by a marketing blitz so omnipresent, I couldn't escape it even during my gym sessions. On the other, a sequel to a relatively obscure game that until now flew under the radar for most. Take a wild guess, which one soared and which one sunk? Contrary to expectations, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League tanked spectacularly, failing even more miserably than its cinematic counterparts. Meanwhile, Helldivers 2, a little-known title from Sony Interactive Entertainment, has unexpectedly become one of this year's gaming phenomena. While exact sales figures remain under wraps, the tale of the tape on Steam tells its own story. Helldivers 2 reached a peak of over 450,000 concurrent players, dwarfing Suicide Squad's modest high of under 13,500, as per Steam database. Industry analyst Doug Kreutz said Helldivers 2 might have already surpassed 8 million sales, with its popularity only ascending weekly. It's outperformed all expectations, Kreutz remarked recently. This scenario underscores a truth in the gaming industry. Predicting hits is often a shot in the dark. I had a soft spot for the original Helldivers when it debuted in 2015, charmed by its unique twin-stick, top-down shooter gameplay and deliberately awkward controls. Viewing the unveiling of Helldivers 2, my initial thoughts were dismissive, pegging it as another uninspired Gears of War knockoff destined to fade into obscurity. Yet, immersing myself in the game and soaking up the surrounding buzz, the appeal became crystal clear. Helldivers 2 melds the essence of cooperative third-person shooting with the intrigue of battling through legions of adversaries in a manner reminiscent of Starship Troopers. Tasked with missions that range from obliterating enemy strongholds to logistical operations, the game thrives on perilous teamwork. What truly sets Helldivers 2 apart, aside from its polished aesthetics and engaging gameplay, are two elements: its emphasis on collaborative strategy and, perhaps more compellingly, its virality-inducing humor. The game's narrative, dripping with satire, mocks the concept of a perpetual war waged in the name of spreading democracy from Super-Earth, complete with characters zealously championing liberty while decimating alien foes who conveniently bleed oil. The gameplay mechanics, particularly the stratagems that require precise inputs for devastating battlefield support, add layers of depth and require genuine teamwork. This cooperative necessity, coupled with the game's darkly comedic undertones and physics-induced mishaps ripe for social media sharing, propels Helldivers 2 beyond just another game into a cultural phenomenon. ShiftUp, the developer behind the anticipated game Stellar Blade, is gearing up to go public with a projected valuation hitting a whopping $2.3 billion. On March 5th, the company filed for an IPO, aiming to list over 58 million shares on the Korea Stock Exchange. For the initial public offering, they plan to release 7.25 million shares. The IPO is spearheaded by a trio of financial powerhouses: Korea Investment and Securities, NH Investment and Securities, and JP Morgan Securities' Seoul branch. This move comes after ShiftUp's valuation neared 2 trillion won, $1.5 billion, in October 2023, a significant jump thanks to its strategic moves and game successes. Notably, around the same period, We Made Entertainment cashed in on its investment by selling 2 million of its shares in ShiftUp to Tencent subsidiary Aceville for a hefty $53.9 million. Analysts in Korea now foresee ShiftUp reaching an even higher valuation of 3 trillion won, $2.3 billion post-IPO, driven by its ongoing success with the game Goddess of Victory, Nikki, and the high anticipation surrounding Stellar Blade. There's buzz around the company potentially attracting investment from Saudi Arabian investors, given its burgeoning market value and innovative game development. Established in 2013, first made waves with the mobile game Destiny Child and further solidified its reputation with Goddess of Victory, Nikki, in November 2022. Nikki, a gacha-based action game noted for its over-sexualized female characters, has grossed over $600 million in player spending, dominating markets in Japan, the US, and South Korea. Kim Hung Tae, the co-founder and CEO of ShiftUp, retains the largest share of the studio, holding 45% of its shares. Tencent, a major player in the tech and gaming industry, has also made substantial investments in ShiftUp, now owning a 24% stake. Looking ahead, ShiftUp is gearing up for the release of Stellar Blade, a third-person hack-and-slash title developed in partnership with Sony Interactive Entertainment, scheduled to launch for PlayStation 5 on April 26, 2024. This upcoming release is poised to be a pivotal moment for ShiftUp, potentially catapulting the studio to new heights in the gaming industry. So is this proof of go woke, go broke?